Hey there and welcome. My name is Paul and this is Taste So Good, and we're bringing you the best of Korean food, life, entertainment, and culture. Today, let's imagine you are visiting Seoul and you are staying on Line 1. We're going to show you the best things that you absolutely must see, do, visit, and of course, eat without ever having to transfer subway lines. So, let's start our journey. Alright, so the first place we're going to check out on our journey of Line 1 is this place. This is the Seoul Subway Line, so it is the Seoul Folk Flea Market. So this is a very traditional market and we're going to see a lot of old things, and I'm super excited to show you, so let's go check it out.
The Seoul Folk Flea Market is located outside exit 10 of 신설동 station on Line 1. The market sells a mixture of new and old items, including fashion items, souvenirs, and crafts, and is becoming a big tourist attraction.
There are so many things here to look at. So there's a lot of different departments. There's the clothing, there's the antiques, there's jewelry, there's all kinds of stuff. So if you come here, you can find yourself being lost for hours because there are so many cool things. So definitely come if you have some extra space in your bag, in your suitcase. You'll definitely want to stock up on some stuff. There's a lot of amazing things. Can't wait to go see what we can find.
What makes the Seoul Folk Flea Market so special is that you can find a variety of items that aren't sold at other markets. Starting your trip at this traditional market is well recommended.
Alright, so the second floor of the market is actually set up like a little folk village, so you can come here and see lots of different traditional Korean things. There's a lot of little picture places, so it's really interesting. So as you can see behind me, it's set up in an old, like maybe early 1900s style of Korea living, so it's really fascinating. So make sure you come to the second floor. There were so many interesting things. I could spend hours in this market. However, if you are visiting Seoul for just a short time and you want to see more things, then it's time to move on. So that is all for 벼룩시장. So we are going to check out the next stop for an interesting place on Line 1. Alright, so we have traveled 2 stops on Line 1 and we are now at Dongdaemun Station. And so we're going to check out a little walking tour and see some more of the historical side of Seoul. So let's go. We just left Dongdaemun Station and we are now going to start a walking tour. So the tour starts off here. This is Untitled. And then we are going to walk around, and you can see up here the hill, so we're going to follow that around, and then we're going to end up in a special place. So let's go check it out.
Many visitors to Seoul miss out on this unique walk as there is so much to see and do in the area. However, walking up the path near Hunginjimun Gate is well worth the effort. It is said to be especially beautiful at nighttime as you can see the beautiful lights of Seoul that surround the area.
So one of my favorite things about Seoul is the contrast between traditional and modern. And this spot gives you a prime view of that. So you can see this traditional wall and architecture behind me, but then you can also see the brand new iconic DDP and other modern places. Alright, so to walk the length of this wall would take about an hour to an hour and a half, and you would end up at Ihwa Mural Village, which is a really spectacular place. However, for the sake of this video, we're just going to show you a little bit here, and then we're going to head back to Dongdaemun to go to our next stop. So if you want to just climb to the top or turn around, you can do that, or you can continue and walk to Ihwa Mural Village. Alright, so next up on our Line 1 adventure is one of my all-time favorite places in Seoul, and that is Gwangjang Market. So this is a huge market that's located in the Jongno area. So it sells everything from clothing and souvenirs to, you guessed it, food. So let's take a little walk and see what we can find here. Let's go.
Originally built in 1905, Gwangjang Market is one of the best places to taste authentic Korean food. Street food lovers will be in heaven as they check out all the options on display. Signs are translated into multiple languages, so the language barrier shouldn't be much of an issue.
There are so many different foods that you can try here, but one of my all-time favorites is called binde duck, and they are selling it all around this area, and it is a pancake basically that's made from mung bean, and it's fried, and it's really, really tasty. So I don't know who's the best. There's a lot of competition here. We're gonna go check somebody out and see how it is. Alright, so we just got our binde duck, so it smells really good. Some of the sellers here are really famous. They have lines that look like people are waiting for 20 or 30 minutes. But it's just arrived, it smells really nice. Looks like it has pieces of onion and maybe green onion. And this is a mung bean that has been kind of smashed down and then fried. So, let's see how it tastes. Alright, let's see how it tastes. Bon appetit. So we don't know mung bean, it's like a bean sprout. So it tastes like bean sprouts. It almost has the texture of like an omelet. I don't think there's any egg in it, but it tastes like an omelet on the inside and then the outside's really crunchy and crisp. Like I said, it's so fresh, it's still steamy hot. Really nice. Alright, so that binde duck was absolutely delicious. So there is such a variety of food here that if you come here, you definitely should try as many things as possible. But I have a special plan for dinner later, so I didn't want to eat too much here. But why don't we continue our journey on line 1? And I have something cool I want to show you guys. Come on, let's check it out. Alright, so we have left Dongdaemun and we've traveled 2 stops. We are now in Jongno 3가, so Jongno 3, Sam is 3. So we're going to check out a few different things. So the first thing we're going to do is check out this. This is Tagpol Park, and it can be reached by going at exit number 1. So let's go.
Tagpol Park, also known as Pagoda Park, is the first modern park to be built in Seoul. The park has great historical value as it was here in 1919 where the March 1st Korean independence movement began. This movement called for the independence of Korea from Japanese rule. The park itself is small but sits in a beautiful location in Seoul.
There's one little surprise that you absolutely must check out when you come here. So if you're entering Tagpol Park, walk to the back and see if you can find this.
The highlight of Tagpol Park is the famous enclosed marble Wangaksa Pagoda. This beautiful 10-tiered stone pagoda was constructed in 1467. It is the second registered national treasure of Korea. It is protected from the elements by glass and it stands at 39 feet tall.
Alright, so you should definitely come check out Tagpol Park. It is right off of line 1, about 2 minutes away from Jongno 3가. Alright, so the next place you absolutely must visit is actually right behind me. You can probably hear it. So next is the area of Insadong. So we're going to cross the street and check that out.
Insadong-gil features a variety of coffee shops, souvenir stores, art galleries, and restaurants.
So visiting Insadong is an absolute must when you are in Seoul. So it's a great place to buy souvenirs. It's also a great place to see a lot of Korean traditional cultural things. So we just happened to stumble upon this performance. So let's check it out.
Hungmul is a traditional dance that includes drumming, dancing, and singing. Hungmul is often classified as farmers' music as it was originally played as part of farm work, on rural holidays, and at other village community building events.
So on the weekends, this street is closed so pedestrians can walk freely. It does get very crowded, but there's a lot to see and a lot to do. Especially recommend you bring your appetite. There's a lot of great street food here. Alright, so I recommend if you are into coffee, you definitely come here and buy a souvenir. So this is Starbucks, and from what I understand, this is the first Starbucks in the world that was able to write the name in a different language. So you can see behind me, it doesn't actually say Starbucks in English, it says it in Korean. So that's kind of a unique thing here. Alright, so behind me, these gentlemen are making this really delicious candy. So it is made with fermented honey, and they make it into over 16,000 strings and then stuff it with nuts. So let's take a closer look, see how this is made. Alright, so this is the finished product. So this is the gultare. So let's take a look at it. So it's a little bit firm and it smells really nice. Let's see how it tastes. Whoa. So it's really sticky because it's honey. And then you get that peanut flavor and the sesame flavor. Oh, it's really nice. If you come to Korea, absolutely come check this out. It's really tasty, it's really sweet. It's a great dessert. So we've just left Jungwon-samga, so now we are heading to our next stop on Line 1. Alright, so I've just exited from exit number 4 of Seoul Station, which again is on Line 1, and now I am heading to Namdaemun. So Namdaemun is a very special place in Seoul that has a lot of history behind it. So the sun is setting, let's check it out before it gets too late. Let's go.
Namdaemun is one of the 8 gates that protected the city of Seoul during the Joseon dynasty. It was designated as the first national treasure of South Korea in 1962. The structure is made from wood and stone and was completed in 1398. It was heavily damaged during the Korean War, and in 2008 the gate was further damaged by an arsonist.
Alright, so if you are coming here, do note that it does close early, so it is closing at 5:30 p.m., which means we've made it just in time. However, it's a really cool spot, and you're going to make a great memory, and you're going to be able to take some great pictures. This is the perfect Instagram spot in Seoul, so be sure to check it out. Alright, so visiting Namdaemun is a must, and it is Line 1. But now we're going to head out to the next place, which is on Line 1. I tell you what, I'm getting a little bit hungry, and I know just the perfect place to go. Come on, let's go. So after exploring Line 1 all day, I've worked up quite the appetite. And no trip to Seoul would be complete without stopping at this place. So this is Noryangjin Fish Market. So this is a wholesale market where if it swims in the sea, you could probably find it here. So in just a moment, we're gonna buy some and then we're gonna cook it up and see how it tastes. So let's go into Noryangjin Fish Market.
Noryangjin Fish Market offers some of the freshest seafood you'll ever see. The market has had different locations throughout its 90-year history. In the early morning hours, wholesalers assembled to find the freshest fish during the morning auctions.
Each vendor here is selling different seafood items, so you can talk to them, you can negotiate a little bit. Some of them speak some English, so you can kind of try to get a cheaper price. And then they will take you to a restaurant where they will cut up the seafood or cook it or grill it, steam it however you want it, and then you can eat it. So you're going to pay 2 times to eat here. You're going to pay here at the vendor, then you're also going to pay when you go to the restaurant as they charge for preparing the food.
In 2011, the Seoul Metropolitan Government conducted a survey of 2,000 foreign visitors. Tourists voted visiting the market as one of their favorite activities in Seoul.
After getting our food downstairs, we've then gone up to the 2nd floor and gone to a different restaurant. So we've given them all of our seafood and they're going to prepare it. So like I said, there is a little bit of a charge for this. So depending on how they cook it or prepare it, you do have to pay more. Have this. So this is called sanakji. So it is moving octopus. Don't worry, it's not alive. It's been chopped up, but it's still moving because it's so fresh. So just a few minutes ago, this was still alive. So they put some sesame oil on it, and like I said, it's still moving. So you have to be really careful to chew this enough, or it could stick to your throat. So I know all my family in America loves this, right, Mom? Right, so as you can see, it's sticking to my chopstick. Ah! But if I can get a piece, you can see up close, tentacles are still moving. So I'm gonna dip in a little bit of soy sauce and wasabi. Bon appetit. Alright, so the octopus itself doesn't have a ton of flavor. It tastes mostly like sesame oil because that's what they have put over it. However, when it hits your mouth, the tentacles are suctioned to the side of your mouth and to your tongue. It's a really weird feeling. It doesn't hurt, but it kind of tickles the inside of your mouth. It's really cool. So I think if you come to Nordaeungjin Fish Market, you absolutely have to try this live octopus because it's really fun. Right, next up we have this steamed shrimp. So we got a lot of shrimp, and this is super fresh. They were still moving, they're still alive when we bought them. So personally, I am not a huge fan of the head of the shrimp. I know a lot of people say it's the best part. I personally just don't like it that much. So I don't know, are you a big fan of the shrimp head? I know people say it's really creamy. I think the shrimp's really hot, super fresh. Again, I'm gonna dip it in a little bit of soy sauce and wasabi. Oh yeah. Super fresh. The meat's a little bit sweet. This is really, really excellent. Doesn't really need much of anything else, just eat it by itself. So next we have the salmon sashimi. So it's different parts of the salmon. So I'm going to use a lettuce wrap, kind of Korea style. So I don't know, I think the end is a little more fatty. So I'm going to just dip it in a little soy sauce and eat it. So there's a little wasabi in it. I love salmon, so this should be really good. One bite. Alright, so our meal here at Nordaeungjin Fish Market has been amazing. I loved all the seafood. It was absolutely great. So at the end of the meal, normally get offered this. So this is a soup, and it's called mayuntang, which basically translates to spicy stew. And inside of it is different types of vegetables, as well as big pieces of fish. This is one of my absolute favorites. So it's got a lot of different spicy pepper flakes in it. So it's got a spicy flavor as well as the fish flavor. And it's just a delicious way to end the meal. So there's all kinds of bean sprouts and different things. So if you're coming here, they're probably going to ask you if you're interested in the mayuntang, and I definitely recommend checking it out because it's a really tasty way. It's kind of like the sushi dessert.